Man, that Xbox showcase was the best showcase I've seen in such a long time, regardless of platform. We were treated to so many games coming out of it. It was full of world premieres. We had a bunch of game release dates for this year and next year, and even a look at the new Xbox console. The entire show was pretty jam-packed with a lot of good stuff. So let's break it down in release order, starting off with what we can expect to play on Xbox this year. Looking at what we have to play this year in 2024, Starfield fans will be happy to know that we've got a brand new updated content being shadow dropped today.
I wish you the best of luck.
Although the awaited Shattered Space expansion is set to come out this year, we've got no official date as to when exactly it's coming out this year. On the 12th of June, we've got Fallout 76 Skyline Valley.
And don't forget to bring home a souvenir or two.
On the 18th of June, we've got the Elder Scrolls Online Gold Road, where they're saying all DLC will be free for a limited time. And to be fair, this trailer looked pretty epic. On the 18th of July, we've got Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn. Now, this game looks pretty interesting. It's a new Souls-like game from the same team that gave us Ashen, and it seems very combat heavy with platform elements kind of thrown in. The game's looking to come out on Xbox, PC, and PlayStation 5. On the 25th of July, we've got Sea of Thieves Season 13, the next update. On the 26th of August, we've got World of Warcraft: The War Within for PC. Now, I'm not going to lie, I genuinely thought this World of Warcraft reveal was going to be available on Xbox now to play as a console experience, and I'm so gutted that that wasn't the case. But to be fair, this trailer was still pretty awesome, and I'm sure Warcraft fans will be happy to know that this game's coming out quite soon. On the 4th of September, we've got Age of Mythology Retold. Now, this game is a full remake of the fantasy-themed RTS game from 2002, where you can play against friends or even against the computer on randomly generated maps. On the 5th of September, we've got Stalker 2. Now, this game has been in development for years. Now we've seen some brand new footage of this post-apocalyptic world, where the radiation from the nuclear disaster created some mutants in the environment. The game is a huge open-world experience without borders and has a non-linear story. In autumn, or fall, we've got Dragon Age Veilguard. After a recent name change, we get treated to the official trailer that shows who we could be banding together with when the game finally does come out. And recently, BioWare's general manager said, each of the 7 unique characters that make up your companions will have deep and compelling storylines, where decisions you make will impact your relationships with them, as well as their lives. You'll unite this team of unforgettable heroes as you take on a terrifying new threat unleashed onto the world. Naturally, the Dreadwolf still has an important part in this tale, but you and your companions, not your enemies, are the heart of this new experience. Well, I guess that explains the name change. On the 8th of October, we've got Diablo 4, Vessel of Hatred. And this trailer was pretty intense.
Let me have me!
On the 25th of October, we've got Call of Duty Black Ops 6, one of the biggest pulls of the show, that also featured the deep dive after the event. About Black Ops 6, Phil Spencer said,
"Set in the 1990s after the Cold War ends, where the truth isn't what it seems. It's an honor to stand here representing the creative teams at Activision. It's been 10 years since Call of Duty has been in our show. It's been even longer since all Call of Duty players got the same game at the same time. Going forward, everyone will experience the game, including the Black Ops 6 beta, the season expansions, and the updates at launch. There are currently over 100 million people who play Call of Duty every month. We hope to grow that community by making Black Ops 6 the first Call of Duty game that will be available in Game Pass day one. So no matter where you choose to play, everyone is welcome to experience Call of Duty Black Ops 6 on October 25th.
On the 29th of October, we've got Life is Strange, Double Exposure.
Focusing my power, I somehow shifted.
On 15th of November, we've got Assassin's Creed Shadows, latest installment by Ubisoft.
People so quick to abuse their power do not deserve to keep it.
And there are 3 other games that are coming out this year, but we have no official dates of. And the first of those is Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Now this game looks absolutely brilliant. From the trailer, it seems we've got the charm, the tone, the setting, everything is right on point for Indiana Jones. I mean, I'm not 100% convinced about the first person perspective, but I'll be glad to jump in when the game does come out this year, because it looks awesome. Secondly, we've got Avowed as a game that we've got no release date, but we know it's coming out this year, where Xbox Wire have said that this adventure kicks off in Paradis, the bustling port city at the heart of the Living Lands. This vibrant hub has been shaped and reshaped by generations of pioneers, each leaving their mark, often in blood. It's also the epicenter of tension between Adrian forces, I hope I've got that right, and the locals, who are suspicious of the Adria's growing presence. I think I've got that right. Every choice you make could tip the balance of fate towards one faction or the other, so they're asking who will you align with, who will you destroy, and who will ultimately control the Living Lands. Personally, this trailer has now got me sold on Avowed. The previous reveal didn't really do much for me, but I'm loving the look and the feel of what's on show here. We don't know exactly when the game's coming out, but we know it's scheduled for this year, so I'm guessing it will be at the end of the year. And lastly, as a game that's coming out this year but we have no official date for, is Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. It's the next installment in the popular simulation franchise with new aircraft to fly in. I mean, I actually haven't tried the first one yet, so I've got no basic comparison, but it looks really good, so I might need to jump on that one first before this one comes out. So that's 16 games in total to play in 2024. Although, yeah, some of these are updates and expansions of existing games, but still, that's a lot of games coming out between now and Christmas. And next up, we've got every game that we saw at the Xbox Showcase that's coming out next year in 2025. So the following games are listed as coming out in 2025, starting with Doom: The Dark Ages. This game looks absolutely epic with the aesthetics, with the setting, with the music. Oh my goodness, it looks and sounds brutal. Doom: The Dark Ages is coming out next year in 2025 and will be available on Xbox, PC and PlayStation 5. Another game listed for next year is Fable. Now I was really hoping that Fable will be coming out this year in 2024, but 2025 it is, I suppose. In this trailer we see a new character named Humphrey who will be forced to end his kind of retirement, I believe, early because of some mysterious person that's popped up from the past. This trailer was more character and story driven, but we did get to see some gameplay elements thrown in.
The skill, the talent, the power. She was something else, alright. She was terrifying.
Next up for next year we have Fragpunk, a 5v5 rule-changing hero shooter. Now I know a lot of people are tired of 5v5 hero shooters, but this one looks quite different. Here you're able to manipulate your environment and play off the cuff with the use of some kind of power cards. And then we've got Winter Burrow, a cutesy open world survival game where you play as a mouse trying to rebuild your childhood burrow.
Nancy, finally! No!
Next up, we've got Mixtape, where they're saying on their last night of high school, 3 friends embark on one more adventure together. Play through a mixtape of memories set to the soundtrack of a generation. En route to their final party together, a perfectly curated playlist draws them into dreamlike reenactments of their formative memories.
Hey, can I stand up?
Yeah, little Rockford, go nuts!
Set to the soundtrack of a generation.
And then we've got Mecha Break. According to IGN, Mecha Break, at first glance, has all the flash of a mecha anime brought to life. I'm talking massive, colourful robot suits, each with their own movesets, roles and specialties, strafing across arena shooter-style maps in bouts of neon-lit glory. So I guess the game is a multiplayer, arena-based experience focused on PvP combat. And then we've got a game called Wuchang Fallen Feathers. Now this game seems to be set in the Ming Dynasty, or Dynasty, where you have access to special powers during your playtime. We don't know too much about the premise, but it looks quite interesting, and the game will be available on Xbox, PC and PlayStation 5 when it does release. Next up for next year, we've got Atomfall, a Fallout-style single-player survival action game set in England. The idea is to scavenge, craft, barter, and, well, just survive, really, in a post-apocalyptic setting, which is set in Britain. And then we've got Expedition 33, or more accurately, Claire Obscure Expedition 33, where IGN said, it takes place in a world where a mysterious entity known as the Paintress, who repaints the world each year, paints a cursed number on a monolith, causing everyone of that age to turn to smoke instantly. Each year the number ticks down, killing off generations and generations at a time. I mean, it's such a far out premise that I think acts as such an interesting backdrop to some really cool looking gameplay. I mean, I'm loving the turn-based focus here, and I'll be personally keeping a close eye on this one. Then we've got South of Midnight, and according to Xbox Wire, this footage was taken around a third of the way through the story, and we get to meet a character called Hazel, and her companion, the Catfish. And in Xbox Wire, they said, I got the chance to chat to South of Midnight's creative director David Sears, art director Whitney Clayton, and game director Jasmine Roy. What became clear as we talked is that South of Midnight has been designed with a single guiding vision, one where thought and care has been put into every decision. Ask the team about any gameplay element and they won't just tell you why it's fun, they'll tell you the narrative reason behind it. Key to all of this is that Hazel's story is about repairing a world and the individuals caught up in its newly darkened corners. David Sears, who's the creative director behind the game, said, from top to bottom, that's the message behind Hazel. Her combat design, her powers. Everything is a weaving metaphor. Weavers are supposed to put things right, do good things in the world. She's literally repairing the tapestry and the creatures. We spent a good amount of time making sure it was clear that when you're attacking or interacting, you're doing it in a non-lethal but aggressive way. Game director Jasmine Roy said, we don't want to reveal everything in this particular gameplay trailer just yet, but the spells are going to be used for traversal, problem solving, and combat. This is how Hazel expresses the use of her power through the different gameplay elements. So these games are what we can expect next year in 2025. But finally, we have 4 more games, actually 4 huge games, that have no release dates yet. So looking at these 4 games that have no release dates, first up we have Perfect Dark, Oh man, Perfect Dark looks absolutely stunning and fluid. This game blows my mind. As a huge fan of the original on the N64, I'm so looking forward to this one. I'm absolutely gutted that we don't have a release date for this, but this trailer for Perfect Dark is exactly what I needed to get my hype levels back up. According to Xbox Wire, Perfect Dark is a first-person secret agent thriller in a near-future world. With the blessing of the original Perfect Dark studio, Rare, not to mention some of the leads from the original titles, Perfect Dark has pulled inspiration from elements of the first two games, but crafted an entirely new story and universe around them for this reboot.
Turns out to be a lie. There's only one way forward. Find the truth.
Perfect Dark's near future has been impacted by what's known as the Cascade, in which the planet has suffered from the series of environmental disasters, rendering entire regions inhospitable to human life.
Analyze. What am I looking at here?
Carrington appears to be targeting a research facility. If he attacks it, the casualties could be astronomical.
In the wake of the disaster, a hypercorporation known as Core Mantis steps in to create a solution known as the Gen Network and deploys it in Cairo, restoring ecological balance and creating a freshly walled city.
To lose everything before I could see.
But as you might expect, not all is as it seems.
What this world was really hiding.
And their motives may be less altruistic than they appear.
I hope you're ready, Agent Dark.
Are you all seeing this?
Once you open this door, there's no going back.
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised we don't have a release date for Perfect Dark, to be fair. And on that note, the second game to have no release date is Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater, or Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater Delta. Seeing this trailer brought back so many memories of Metal Gear Solid 3 on PlayStation 2. I loved that game back then, and I'm so glad to see this game has the same look and feel, although totally revamped for today's technology. The game looks great, and I just love hearing David Hayter's voice return for Snake.
Whose crazy idea was this anyway?
Ah, it's so good to hear him again.
Freeze. Speak.
Thirdly, we have the highly anticipated State of Decay 3. It's been around 4 years since the new State of Decay 3 was in the works, and now we see a pretty cool cinematic trailer for the game. According to the game description, it's set years after a zombie apocalypse has nearly wiped out humankind. State of Decay 3 is the next evolution in the State of Decay franchise. As the zombie threat continues to claim lives, you must fight back and reclaim lost ground, carving out a life for your community of survivalist homesteaders. And lastly, out of the games we have no release dates for, is Gears of War E-Day. This was a beautiful and welcome surprise to finish off the Xbox showcase. I'm so glad we got to see this. We got to see younger versions of Marcus Phoenix and Dom Santiago on what looks like the beginning of the Locust Invasion. Well, I guess the title E-Day kind of gives that away, really. For those who don't know, E-Day is Emergence Day, or when the locusts first popped up out of the ground and wiped out much of humanity. I'm so glad that we'll be following the original Gears team, or at the very least this duo, in a new Gears game. So there's no Gears 6 shown as the rumours were pointing out to, but I'm very, very glad that we got this instead. We just need that release date now. So that was every single game revealed at the Xbox Showcase in release date order. Or any of these on your wish list? Let me know in the comments, but for now, please like and subscribe and stay tuned for the next video. If you got to the end of this video, then please do like and subscribe.